Okay, good morning and welcome to this webinar on NEP 2020, Fostering Innovations and Creativity, hosted by the Institution Innovation Council. And we have here with us an eminent personality from the National Educational Arena, Professor Joseph Dunstan. By the way, I am Dr. Jenny Padua, Coordinator for Startups of Institution Innovation Council and Dean of Science at Holy Cross College. I feel happy and privileged to be the moderator for this webinar. With God's blessing, let us start this session. It is with immense pleasure and great inquisitiveness that all of us are here to listen to this speech. At this juncture, when we all have apprehensions regarding the national educational policy, which is all set ready to make sweeping changes in the educational ecosystem of India, this is the perfect time to have a discussion on this topic. Before we start this webinar, I would like to welcome the Secretary of our college, Dr. Geraldine J.M., the Principal and President of IIC, Dr. Sister Annie Puppet Sophie, Vice President and NISP Coordinator, Dr. Sahaya Selvi, Convener, Dr. Anami Augustus Arul, the coordinators of various committees, Controller of Examinations, Deans, faculty members, administrative and non-teaching staff, students, and invited guests to this webinar. Well, to introduce Dr. Joseph Dunstan, he is not new to our institution, and I have always heard about him as a well-wisher and a big brother to many of us in this college. But on conversing with him, what really impressed me was his positivity and the amount of innovative ideas he can give us. This really made me aware and reminded me, yes, we have to do so much, work harder and harder towards excellence during this time of implementation of the national educational policy. On a formal note, Dr. Joseph Dunstan was the former Vice Chancellor of St. Joseph's University, Nagaland, and has served various positions as the Director of JP Engineering College, JP College of Education, DMI College of Engineering, Francis Xavier Engineering College, Tirunelveli, and Loyola Institute of Technology, Chennai. He has also served as the Principal of St. John's College of Arts and Science, Amandivillai, and Vice Principal of St. Jude's College, Tutur, and is currently working as the Director for Development and Professor of English in the Research Center of St. Jerome's College of Arts and Science, Anandanadakudi. He has been the coordinator of NAC Preparation Committee involved in training faculty to go for NAC and NBA accreditation. He is a motivational speaker and resource person and has delivered more than 1,000 motivational talks in national and international forums. Wow, that's amazing, Professor. Well, he has served as the member of the Senate of Manoormaniam Subbanaar University and chairperson of the consortium of Christian minority higher education institutions of Tamil Nadu, and represented the consortium in the consultation of new education policy draft committee led by Padma Vibhushan Dr. Kasturi Rangan, organized by the Ministry of Human Resource Development. He has been the proud recipient of the Best Speaker Award of
how they are going to execute this particular NEP 2020. Now, why do we need an education policy? You know, we had an education policy which was introduced during the regime of the Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi in 1986. It was revived in 1992 under P.V. Narasimha Rao as the Prime Minister. And in 2002, once again, Dr. Manmohan Singh, one of the leading economists of the world, revived it. But still, it could not culminate on what the policy was formed. It could not completely introduce, and it could not be executed among the higher educational institutions. So, this government in 2014 decided the entire education policy should be revamped, and TSR Subramaniam, the then cabinet minister of higher education, MHRD, was made the member in 2016, and he brought out that some inputs on higher education 2016, but of course it did not, reach the expectation of the administrators in MHRD, and they immediately appointed another. Of course, he was also no more that time, and another policy team under the headship of Padma Vibhushan Dr. Kasturi Rangan. It had around some of the vice chancellors and all that, and the secretary was the then cabinet secretary, Susmishan Sumida, a Muslim lady who could do a wonderful job in drafting the entire policy. And in 2019, this policy came out, and of course, it was tabled for public discussion. The mammoth policy draft, 464 pages. And of course, around 2 lakh people all over India gave the feedback, and based on those feedback and discussions, debates, panel discussions, now they have culled out the very important points, and today we have the new education policy to 2020 in 64 pages. That's all. But though it is culled out from the mammoth volume, the spirit of the new education policy is same. It is not changed. Now, why do we have that policy? Because they say the present educational system has got a severely fragmented, compartmentalized system. It is severely fragmented. Why do we say it's severely fragmented? They use this particular word, silos, compartmentalized. You're not able to go out of that. Especially, the students are not allowed to have the streamlining of their own policies after the +2. Because in the +2 itself, they have been divided this way. The stream of art stream and art science stream are a mathematics streams. So they're not able to have a comprehensive education after their +2. So to overcome this challenge of a fragmented educational system, they should have a new education policy which would concentrate more on multidisciplinary approach. The second important challenge we have in the present education system, all of us know, we don't insist on the cognitive skills of the students. The thought process is not at all involved in our learning outcomes. When I say learning outcomes, a graduate in science, a graduate in arts, or a postgraduate in science and arts, or whatever it is, remains a graduate. He is not a complete, I would even say, a master in that particular subject. In fact, when Sundar Pichai was recently asked in an interview, what do you think of the engineering education in India and America? He beautifully summed up the whole thing in one sentence. In India, they create engineering graduates. In the United States of America, they create engineers. That's a major difference. So to overcome this kind of a thing, they want the present day youth to be a holistic personality. So to that effect, they have to revamp the entire educational policy. And because of these rigid, rigid disciplines, and a student, was opted for commerce in higher secondary, cannot think of sciences when it comes to the graduate study. So they want to overcome the whole thing. Another important challenge is today the socio-economic conditions of the students all over the country, especially in the disadvantaged areas. So now they say, because the education is not given in local language, there are lots of dropouts. In fact, when we had a meeting in NAC office under the leadership of Dr. Kasturi Rangan, the entire day was concentrated on this particular drop rate. I think at least there were around 6 vice chancellors, former vice chancellors, were discussing on this particular aspect. Why there is a huge dropout in Indian education. That time, they were taking down lots of notes. Of course, it has been also incorporated in the education policy. And another challenge which today is faced in the educational institutions is the autonomy of the institution and the autonomy of the teachers. I think I'll come back to this particular area later, but this is one of the challenges. The autonomy is not given to the teacher when he takes up a course in the program offered. That I think I'll deal it in a detailed way when I come to the how they are going to revamp it. Then there is no adequate mechanism for the career management of our students, and also the career progression of our teaching faculty and institutional leaders, especially the administration, right? And how are they going to set up these things? And in most of the universities and colleges, the research is not at all underlined. In other words, only in autonomous colleges, at least some glimpse of hope in researchers apart from the universities. Now, of course, other colleges are also taking up this. But last week, we also got a shocking news that all self-financing colleges will do away with the research centers. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, anyway. And, there is a lack of competitive, peer-reviewed research in our educational institutions. Today, we make a big hue and cry, when we say that all staff members, the members of the faculty should present Scopus international valued, peer valued, the publications. Nobody is supporting that. That means we are lacking in quality, right? And another important challenge today we face is the suboptimal governance of higher education. Today, the meritorious candidates are not appointed principals and the managing body. If you think of an institution where the entire family manages the whole thing, the merit is not given room for managing and administering a particular institution. Those things have to be removed by all means. and an ineffective regulatory system. All our higher education colleges are under UGC. That particular regulatory system is not empowered to close down the colleges which are very sick. When I say very sick, I'll come to that later. The single discipline colleges and all those things which are there selling the degrees only for a price. Okay. And the large affiliation colleges. Other day, we had a panel discussion in Pune, and the Vice Chancellor was the presiding over that the panel discussion on new education policy. The college has more than 370. The university has more than 375 colleges. 375 colleges. Because of this large number of colleges. Now take, for example, Anna University today. 500 and odd colleges under Anna University. It's very difficult to manage those colleges. That is why it results in low standard of education in the colleges. So, considering this background, this new education policy envisions a complete overhaul of the entire educational system. So, the first point will be they'll be moving towards a multidisciplinary approach, and there will be at least one university in each district, which will be offering multidisciplinary disciplines in all the areas of the district. And it will be moving towards multidisciplinary undergraduate courses and lots of institutional autonomy in revamping curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, and student support, which are all now not in good place in the present higher education system. Another important thing they want to say is they would like to have. Hello. Sorry. So, see, they do not have the integrity of the faculty and institutional leadership today. What do they mean by the revamping of this integrity of the faculty in colleges and the institutional leadership? The thing is, when they appoint the members of the staff or members of the administrative staff, some kind of a favoritism plays the role. So merit is sidelined. So today, if at all you want to maintain quality education, I don't think when the siblings of the people who run the institution, they enter, there will be a lot of problems, right? And that the integrity of the faculty today is in question. I am appointed. I have given a huge amount of donation. Why should I bother about the quality dissemination of knowledge in the colleges? So these are all the challenges today. So they want to revamp the whole thing. And to even encourage and sustain the real research policy, they would like to start a National Research Foundation, NRF, to fund the research activities uniformly in all universities and in all colleges. And they also would like to have independent board of governors to administer all the colleges. In other words, if we have one multidisciplinary university in Kanyakumari district, there will be a bunch of board of governors. They will be managing the cluster colleges. I'll tell you why we need a cluster colleges. But there will be light but tight regulation policies. And all the educational institutions will have increased access, especially the disadvantaged area students will find a place in all the colleges, and ODL, open distance learning, will be completely new. Why do we want to have this policy now? After revamping the entire thing, they would like to increase the gross enrollment ratio to 50% before 2030. The present gross enrollment ratio is 26.3. And considering the entire whole of India, they would like to increase the gross enrollment ratio to 50%. Of course, already Tamil Nadu has crossed 40. Sikkim has crossed 50. Kerala has crossed 42. Okay, now, but overall picture of the gross enrollment ratio is less. But another thing also that we have to seriously consider, in certain states, there is 100% gross enrollment ratio at the primary level. And when it comes to the secondary level, secondary education, it is around 70%. When it comes to the tertiary level, it is only 25%. So what happens to those people? Why there is a huge dropout? It's a big difference. So to sustain the gross enrollment ratio, they would like to revamp the entire system in such a way the education should attract the students to come and join our institutions. Because, and finally they say in the introduction, because we today in India, we have around 60 to 70% youth, and they should get the quality education. They underline throughout the quality education. But once again, this has been debated in almost all the panels. NTA, National Testing Agency, will be conducting entrance examination for all arts and sciences admissions. So this will have a lot of problems. Now I move on to what is the new education policy, or to be precise, what is new in new education policy? See, today all of us know, if at all you want to achieve the full human potential, you must have a proper education. And that education should be of very high quality, precisely because if at all you want to see the economic development today, as a developing nation in our country, if at all you want to have a 10% economic developments to our startup programs and all that, the institution in innovation council should make a note of this economic development. By starting the startup programs, you will be definitely inducing the economic development of the students who enroll themselves for the startup programs. The medium entrepreneurs who enroll themselves during the internship, that I'll discuss when it comes to the relevant part in the new education policy. And the education of high quality should have a social justice and equality. Today, we are not able to maintain this kind of a social justice and equality, which today we are able to see a lot of discrimination against gender, lots of discrimination against the caste-based outfits everywhere. Not only in our higher education institutions, even our religious circles, this is being coming up. So I mean, how to, what do you call, overcome these challenges? By having a high quality education through which we should be able to teach the students, understand the community. And that's why, we should make the students in a community engagement. That I'll come to that. Community engagement. And today, we all know there is a problem in the climatical conditions of our colleges, and environmental stewardship has to be encouraged. We have been environmental bosses, not stewards. I mean, I don't know how many of you have read the encyclical released by the Pope Francis, Laudato Si. Beautifully he has written that how we have to be out and out stewards in sustaining the environment. And scientific advancement is lagging behind. So the pandemic has taught us many things today. During this pandemic, we were really finding it very difficult to give even online education to our students. That modus operandi we were introducing, and we know that today, because of the digital divide, most of our students are not able to have access to the online education. And we need a lot of research, especially in this particular area. This pandemic has taught us many things. Maybe when I come to that particular incubation center, I'll talk about that. And cultural preservation. Today, we are not able to give the from generation to generation, we are not passed on what is the cultural artifact which is really uniting us in all our places. That has to be done by all. And today, what is the world and how the world is existing, and what is the knowledge landscape? All of you know very well, I think computer professors and computer students are there. Today, the entire administration depends on the big data. Data analytics is ruling the world. And machine learning is a program which, tells us how to have this software application in maintaining big data. And artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence only tells us, of course, it slowly, doesn't allow the human intervention, but the machines are coming slowly. But that has to be trained. The students have to be trained in machine learning and big data, so that in future, we need a lot of software, computer surveys to fill up that gaps everywhere. And slowly, machines are, all of us have seen, machines have taken over the unskilled jobs. All right? Well, all of us know that. So that means people have a fear that the unskilled jobs will be taken over by machine, then there will not be jobs. No. Because you have to create skilled labor on the increase, which will be involving mathematics, computer science, data science, and deep learning. These are the 4 areas. Today, science needs that. Mathematics, physics, chemistry, we can do that, a lot of things. Computer science, of course, a lot of data analytics, machine learning, deep learning, whatever it is. That can be even, we can start in our startup programs and incubation centers. Like that, today, this particular area needs a lot of consideration, pollution and the climate change to meet world energy. So in these areas, the engineering colleges are really slowly coming up, and we have introduced lots of solar energy panels. Why didn't we make the students involve themselves to do projects? And clear water, sanitation in biology, chemistry, physics, all these subjects can be introduced in such a way, revamped in such a way, there will be a lot of startup programs which can be given. So, based on these challenges and the present challenges we have, this is how the new education policy is going to build up. And the vision of NEP is it is going to give India-centered educational system. India-centered educational system that contributes directly to transforming the nation sustainably into an equitable and vibrant knowledge. When I say vibrant knowledge society, the society, they say it is all talking about the research. The students have to be really involved in innovations and creativity, and the research orientation should come up like anything. If at all you want to, instill this research oriented in the orientation in the young minds, there must be a high quality education to all. And what are the principles on the basis on that the policy is built? Number one is access. They want to give access to everyone. All, nobody should be left out, whether they belong to the rural areas or the city, whatever it is, they should not be left out. And the equity, everyone should be equally considered. Equity in the sense, even this socially, economically disadvantaged groups, this particular thing is being introduced in the new education policy, along with the SCs, STs, and all that denotified people. They have introduced a new phrase this time, SCDG, socially and economically disadvantaged groups. And the third important thing is the quality. And it should be affordable to the people. And whatever we disseminate, we give in our colleges have lots of accountability. Lots of accountability. Right? When I say accountability today, as I said, a graduate, when he comes out of let us say a commerce graduate, when he comes out as BCom, is he accountable for what he has studied there? This has led to a lot of discussions. Even in 1978, when the semester system was introduced in Madras University by the then Vice Chancellor Malcolm Adisesha, we had lots of discussions. Especially Jesuit fathers were deadly against the semester system. I still remember Father Lawrence Sundaram was the syndicate member. He was against this. He said, studying literature in a piecemeal system will not give a comprehensive idea of literature. And then we will not be able to give the accountability of what we teach in our colleges. So that way, today, the principles of the policy is built on these 5 policies. One is the principle, one is access, second is equity, third one is quality, fourth one is affordability, and the fifth one, accountability. And how they have completely, composed the policy, it is based on the 4 pillars of the policy, which was introduced by UNESCO. First thing is a student should learning to know. When he studies some concept, he should know, why there is a concept. And the moment he knows things, he should be trained to do. And the third thing is there must be a team spirit in our colleges, and that should be reflected in the families. They should know how to learn together and learning to be. An individual student should be instilled in lots of things so that he will have a holistic personality. Based on these aspects of education, and whether it is a school or higher or vocational adult education, these 4 pillars are the important thing on which this particular policy is built or composed. And when you come to the higher education section, the beautiful, in Dharwad, because Karnataka University has already implemented the new education policy, and even the occasional courses have been already introduced, and most of the students are coming. And they, when we had a panel discussion in the Dharwad University, that The panel discussion it was called the NEP 2020, a rhetoric or reform. Of course, if you read through the whole policy, you will enjoy the language. Beautiful language, beautifully drafted. The right words in the right place. I mean, not only the professors of English, anybody who is interested in reading English will enjoy the entire policy, wonderfully drafted, with beautiful language, phrases, and all those things. That's why the higher education section is called Quality Universities and Colleges, a new and forward-looking vision for India's higher education system. That is the title they give. So how are you going to restructure the higher educational institutions in future? Number one, all higher educational institutions will be transformed into large multidisciplinary universities. Large multidisciplinary universities and colleges, whether it is an autonomous college or universities. Please. Sorry. Okay. I mean, all higher education institutions will be converted into multidisciplinary institutions, colleges, and higher educational clusters and knowledge hubs. I may have to now explain this. Why colleges, higher education clusters? Now, this particular policy envisions that college should have minimum of 3,000 students to 5,000 students. If it fails to admit students less than 1,000 or less than 2,000 and all these colleges will come under higher educational institution cluster groups. This is where, there is a threat to almost all small higher education institutions. But anyway, they will come under a group. And then I feel that, if there is a multidisciplinary university in Kanyakumari district, some of the small colleges will come under that, and a board of governor will be in charge of that particular college. And also knowledge hubs, in the sense, they will request all the, let us say, now in 2025, Holy Cross Autonomous College becomes the university. It will also become the knowledge hubs. The faculty members will be sent to many colleges to train their faculty and the students also. So that is why they say there will be knowledge hubs in the centers. I mean, when that you can think of many things. When the implementation stage comes, and an autonomous college like Holy Cross can introduce lots of avenues to have knowledge hubs in each discipline: physics, chemistry, microbiology, botany, and all those things, right? So hereafter, I think from 2030, slowly this particular thing will be built up. There will be 3 types of institutions as far as higher education is concerned. One is research intensive universities. The second one is teaching intensive universities. And the third, autonomous degree granting colleges. By 2030, all colleges will become autonomous colleges, and they will be independent degree granting colleges. Now you may ask me a question, sir, then what about the small colleges? Those cluster colleges will all be independent, but it will come under one particular multidisciplinary university in one district or closer to one district, right? Now what will be the mode of education? There will be a four-year degree course. So I think we can start, I think by 2023, we can start 4-year integrated courses. And you can also have the option of the 3-year degree. But the only thing is, there will be a multiple exit option. After finishing the first year, the student can be allowed to go out of the college. He can leave. After finishing second year also, he can leave. After finishing third year also, he can leave. After 4 years of integrated course, he can go for a research. That means a certificate will be given after first year completion. A diploma will be given after 2 years of study. A bachelor's degree will be given after the 3-year program. And the 4th year program, it will lead to degree with research. You can go for MA 1 year, all right? No, they can have MA 1 year, MA 2 years, postgraduate 1 year, postgraduate 2 years, like that. A fellow who finishes 3-year program can join for 2-year MA program. A fellow who has finished a 4-year can also join 1 year. And in the PG programs, the second year of the PG program will be completely devoted to research. That means the college has to maintain. Let us say when Holy Cross College becomes a university in 2025 or 2030, the college has to have a digital repository through which we'll establish an academic bank of credit. Academic bank of credit. They will digitally store the academic credits of the students. Because after completing 1 year, he may have that exit. He will go out. Maybe he will work for some time. He will have some internship, work for some time. With the knowledge he has gained in the first year, he will come back. He will come back. Or he can also join ODL, Open Distance Learning, somewhere. He can also join Swayam portals. He can also join Coursera. And then he can earn a credit. All those credit has to be accumulated and stored in the academic bank of credit. All these options will be given to the students. Not necessarily you should remain in a college. So that way, this quality education, it's a lifelong learning process which will be introduced for the students. So higher education institutions will have the flexibility. The flexibility is an important one. It comes in lots of places in the entire educational policy. Flexibility to offer curriculum, the pedagogy, the different designs of master's program. There can be a 2-year master program, as I told you already. And the second year will be completely devoted for research. And this 2-year program is meant for all those people who have finished the 3-year program. And the students completing a 4-year bachelor program with research, there will be only 1-year master program. And there will be also an integrated 5-year master's program. And it will be called integrated MSc. This year, MS University has started 2 programs. Integrated commerce. Many students have joined. They'll do MCOM 5 years integrated course. So now, if at all you want to earn a degree, PhD, it's enough master degree alone. You have master degree with an entrance examination or NET qualification. And even the 4-year bachelor degree course with research can join that. In the 4th year, the entire study will be devoted for research. He can also join 4-year bachelor degree course student also can join research, provided he has to clear NET, the National Testing Agency's examination. And the MPhil programs shall be discontinued. I think Holy Cross College has dropped that idea of having MPhil program this year. Some of the affiliated colleges have. Universities have completely done away with that, but Madurai Kamaraja University still retains this MPhil till the next academic year. Now, I immediately go to the accreditation system. Now, why today, when I say the quality education, this accreditation will see to it that the quality of the education will be same all over the country. For example, today, as far as the engineering education is concerned, the education which is offered in BITS Pilani, of course, they have centers in even foreign countries also. So why do students rush to BITS Pilani? Anna University, dual course systems. They learn many things. I could see Bitspilani's prospectus, which is running to around 700 pages, a big one. So they have what you call a different learning system which attracts students. So we will have an accreditation system in our colleges. I mean, it will not be called assessment and accreditation. It will be called only accreditation. National accreditation system. Because there is no place for assessment, because the entire structure of the group which we are going to introduce in our college will be same everywhere. Now, we need not run to Loyola College to study our MA English, or Loyola College to study our LIBA program. No. I mean, I'll come to that. Why students run there? Because how they, equip themselves throughout the day. That is where innovation and creativity plays an important role in maintaining the equity of everywhere in all our institutions. That is, the teaching, learning component will be same in all categories of higher education. The important component, teaching, learning, evaluation, as far the accreditation is concerned, it will be same everywhere. That's why, after this pandemic situation, we may have to even have proper tools of combined mode of education. Let's have online education also. It is going to continue. It's going to continue. Already 100 universities have been, acknowledged and identified for developing online educational mode of teaching. So by 2040, all higher education institutions shall be a multidisciplinary institutions. Now, what do you mean by this multidisciplinary institution? There will be a specialization. For example, a student of physics, he will have a specialization as a major subject. All kind of astronomy, astrophysics and everything. And advanced physics will be introduced as a major subject. And the student will have a minor subject. If he is a student of Bharatanatyam, he can learn Bharatanatyam. If he is a student of sports, let us say he is a footballer, he's a kabaddi player or a cricketer, the tenets of playing cricket, the nuances of playing kabaddi will be taught as a minor subject. He will be a master in that. If he is a yoga fellow, he can do yoga as a minor. If he's a fine arts student, he can learn fine arts as a minor student. And if he's a student of music, he can learn music which will be offered as a minor to the major physics. This will happen to all disciplines. So that's why by 2040, already they have appointed various committees to go into forming of these multidisciplinary systems. It is already done in Delhi. And this particular open distance learning, this took a lot of time for the policymakers to devise, because, their main focus is on increasing the gross enrollment ratio, GER. And they decided, when we open distance learning, many people can join. And there will be 100% GER. And that open distance learning center, the online program, will be also accredited. They'll have a special norms to be accredited by the Accreditation Council, National Accreditation Council. So even online education, open distance learning will be accredited by this particular accreditation system. That is why this learning, why they want to introduce that. You see, that UNESCO SDG, Sustainable Development Goal, the number 4. Of course, sustainable 1, 2, 3. It's all talking about the welfare of the people, food quality and all that. But SDG 4 talks about the quality education. Quality education means it is going to be a lifelong learning. It's going to be a lifelong learning. That's why in one particular area, because even last month I was discussing with Dr. Jenny that she has to enroll in Vidwan, that research development. UGC has introduced that. I think Reverend Sister Sophie, the principal, must have seen that a circular that Vidwan, when almost all the staff members who got for specialization should enroll themselves. You should be able to have that lifelong learning in research and everything. And slowly they are introducing these things. And next day another circular also came. If the higher education institution do not enroll in Vidwan program, then the funds will be cancelled. Now, in everywhere, it's only the threat. So, the top institution which is going to be accredited for ODL. See, for example, even Holy Cross University can have open distance learning center. That will be a separate department wherein you should give quality outputs which should satisfy the outcome learning output. You know that outcome learning, what is that? The learning output. Outcome-based education. So that particular component will be incorporated in your open distance learning. You can start your own open distance learning. And today already 100 top institutions have been accredited for ODL. And these institutions, you can also think of that, designing this ODL. Okay, I think in DMI, in Tanzania universities, we have already started this ODL. And they're all called virtual programs. All over the world, people listen to our programs. All right? So we must also develop this. That is what I said. This new education policy fosters innovations and creativity. Now, each department can think of offering distance learning course in your departments, right? So this open distance learning will play a pivotal role in new education policy. Now, how are they going to create this new higher education over the years? Now, before I go into the point, I would like to say presently today, we have around, to be very precise, 900, and that is of course 1,000 universities all over India. 1,000 universities, around 39 something odd colleges all over India, 39 and odd colleges. Let us say 40,000 colleges and 1,000 universities. And in one particular place, they say they will also remove the number, reduce the number to 15,000. Wow, how? When it becomes a cluster group, let us say 5 colleges come under one group. That will be one college. It will be reduced. Right? And the single stream higher education institution which offers only one discipline, let us say the bachelor's in education, B.Ed programs. Already Verma Commission decided that the teacher education institution should be removed because they're all selling a degree for a price. Verma Commission in 1992 itself it decided that. Justice Verma Committee. Now, so they want to remove the single stream higher education institution in a phased out timing, maybe in another 15 years, slowly it will be removed. And that we all becomes vibrant, multidisciplinary institution. That's why even I know today in Kanyakumari district, at least 4 self-financing colleges have applied for integrated courses and they have got the license to start BA integrated next year or BSc integrated next year. That will also incorporate the curriculum of teaching, education, pedagogy and all those things. Right? I think four colleges in our district have already applied for integrated courses. Right? And in Tirunelveli district also we have applied, and the JP we have applied, then we got the license now to start integrated courses. So, it will be parts of vibrant multidisciplinary clusters. Whenever you see the word vibrant, it talks about 2 things. One is the research orientation. Number 2 is economic development. So slowly, this new regulatory system will phase out the affiliated colleges in another 15 years. That means in 2035, slowly all colleges will be come out of affiliated system, and there will be a graded autonomy. So you may ask me a question: what will happen to the already? Colleges which are existing with autonomy, like Holy Cross College, you can move on to a university, teaching university. A teaching university also can slowly go into research university. Of course, don't think that research university is sponsored only on research. The teaching also will take place there. You can also go by step to another university, teaching university, research university, and finally research university. And there is a separate place where they say, based on the space of the college, today they start colleges in 5 acres, colleges in 8 acres, and all that. Based on these colleges, based on the area, if we have 50 acres of land, 100 acres of land, the regulatory committee will make us offer more and more courses, considering the space we have in our colleges, right? So what will happen to the existing universities? The present complex nomenclatures will be taken away. That means they will not be called affiliating university, affiliating technical university, deemed to be university, unitary university, and all those things will be removed. They will be called only universities. Please remember, this particular policy is based on what is being happening today in America, the Ivy League colleges. That means the cluster groups, Ivy League. You can refer to that Ivy League colleges, or Massachusetts Institute of Technology has got these cluster groups, knowledge hubs. Only based on that plan, they have introduced that here in India. Right? But they say it is India-oriented education, but maybe considering all our cultural artifacts, they want to build up an institution, an education system. That means the university worldwide means a multidisciplinary institution. I think how long I can go, Professor Jenny? Professor Jenny? Hello?
Yes, sir.
How long I can? It is already 11.
Yeah, you can go on for another 15 minutes.
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay. Now, as I said, you can have a more holistic and multidisciplinary education that I said almost all, now as Gadambari has described in the Good Education, of all the 64 colors will be introduced. Along with that, we'll also have soft skills, and with communication, discussion, debate, we train the student in all those things. I mean, as I told you, arts, fine arts, music, philosophy, and all those areas will be introduced in those things, right? Now, there will be 3 important things. One is community engaged service. That is already we have NSS and all that, and we have also adopted villages. Environmental education, that is really now coming up. The third one is value-based. Today, we need this. All our institutions should have value-based education. 3 important things. One is community engagement. The students should be engaged with the community. Number 2 is environmental education. And the third university. And this multi-educational, multidisciplinary educational research universities will be on par with IITs and IIMs in India. Right? And this is the important point which I would like to discuss. These higher educational institutions will, imbibe the values of research and innovation by setting up startup incubation centers. Now, the concentration of the institutional innovation cell will be first step. You have to start up programs. I think I can even quote Sister Andumeri in Providence College. They have even started a startup programs for organic vegetables. You have to invite entrepreneurs and tell the students how to bring up. A botany department can be incorporated. They can grow organic vegetables without using chemicals and fertilizers. And the incubation centers will give offer space, office and everything they can set. And today, many of the colleges have started producing masks And we need that masks. And at the engineering level, they have started robo nurses. Most of the hospitals during this pandemic session wanted to have robo nurses because of this pandemic. Nurses cannot go and serve the patient, so they wanted to have what you call robotic nurses. And a computer science department and mechanical department came together and they produced robotics. So now we can have in our colleges startup what is locally relevant. Make our students entrepreneurs and bring founders inside, founders of some courses, and then they start. In our engineering colleges, we have started, this bricks, hollow blocks. And the civil engineering students are involved in that, in preparing, and they also know how to study the quality of the bricks. And you have an MOU with the contractors and let them come and, as far as the engineering colleges are concerned. But in a college like that, where women, when the gender inclusion is very, very important, where we can think of this kind of starting mass and all those small things, entrepreneurs, and then give space through incubation centers. All these things are being improved by this particular new education policy. You can also develop technological centers. A computer science student, they have a space, sign an MOU with other companies, start designing websites. I think you can give a lot of training in HTML and then make them divine that. I think like Loyola College, which has got this BOC, therein they have got diploma courses in computational journalism. The Department of English and Computer Science have come together and they have started computational journalism. And most of the students do it in the afternoons. And it's a beautiful thing. I remember my friend who was a specialist in ELT, Father Peter Francis. He started that. We beautifully connected with the computer science department, and it is doing very well. The computational, journalism. So now, slowly, if you could create, then slowly that industry academic linkages will come as a great thing, and your innovation council will do a lot of things. I would like to skip this teacher education. It's not necessary for us. But anyway, hereafter, those people who are going to do PhD from 2025 onward has to completely undergo 8 credits educational mode, pedagogy. All right? Because they will also have to be very good teachers, and they have to go to the colleges for training, teaching practice, and they get the certificates from the principals. By this vocational education today that is lacking, the vocational education also will be merged in the higher education institution. Because today, only 5% of the total population is receiving vocational education in our country, whereas in the United States of America, it is 52. In Germany, it is 75. In South Korea, it is 96%. So, vocational education will be brought under the mainstream education that also will be offered. And faculty and institutional autonomy. The autonomy will definitely here, it will have a defined goals for faculty members. The faculty members have to publish papers, update their knowledge, and they should also register themselves in such a way they grow in their field. I am sorry to say some of our professors, the moment whatever they got in MA, they continue with that. Or whatever you got in MPhil, they continue with that. Nothing new is there. I, as a head of the department, as a vice principal, as a principal, I had seen that. If you ask the teacher, no, I have been teaching this for the past 3 years, let me continue with that. They cannot take up another area of the research or the subjects to teach. This will be stopped hereafter. Because, hereafter, this assessment of the faculty, because when we have an institutional development plan, IDP, we have to have the IDP that will tell us about how the faculty should be there and the institutional autonomy. The institutional autonomy in the sense, they should give you full autonomy to have the courses. See, you can offer a program under BSc Zoology or under BSc Botany, but when a course is given to the particular teacher, the course content can be designed by the particular teacher. I mean, taking into the consideration the local interest, the particular teacher can design the course, but the general program will be BSc Zoology, BSc Botany, BSc Microbiology. But each course, when you are giving the course instructor, that course instructor should be given the full autonomy to design their own curriculum. So there will be optimal learning, and in the optimal learning there, here I would like to say, you can have online courses, ODL courses and all that, and you should have that institutional development plan wherein you will be deciding what should be done. And then this is very important as far as your institution innovation council concerned. You should form topic-centered clubs. The clubs wherein the students and the experts will be there. They should dedicate themselves to science, mathematics, poetry, language, literature, and all that. In such a way, even the art students, the entire batch is on the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Everyone should learn everything. So you should have clubs in such a way. It should be topics. Don't tell me that you have fine arts club, not that, art nature club or whatever it is. The club, the nature club should, invite the experts, and that should, inculcate a research orientation in the minds of students in such a way. He has to come to the starter programs. He should think of that. What should be done? Now, let us say a botany department starts a nature club, and slowly it's not only taking the photographs and maintaining the nature. How we can have organics? Now, let's say in Chennai today, most of the engineering graduates are as a part-time student. They have started organic farming. All right. So that kind of thing should be done. And this is an important point. There is some disturbance, Jenny.
Yeah.
It's all right. Yeah. Now, internationalization, already they have identified 100 top universities all over the world to open branches in India. So that means students need not go. But at the same time, Indology and Ayush programs, medicines, yoga, all those things, Ayurvedic medicines and the Unani and all those medicines, they will have an important position in our own institutions, in the multidisciplinary institution. In these multidisciplinary institutions also will open their branches in other countries. It's a mutual agreement. 100 top institutions will come here, and also they will go to the Indian universities will open, especially this particular Indian medicine, Siddha, Ayush systems, all those things will be exposed to at the international level. And the transfer of credit, as I said, there is, bank accreditation bank is there always. That credit bank will have the transfer of credits also from everything. And I know I have to now talk about this National Research Foundation. Now, as I told you in the beginning itself, today it is only 69.69 of the GDP. The gross domestic product is allotted for research, but in other countries it's more. In USA it is 2%, South Korea 4.5. But today India has decided 20,000 crores for National Research Foundation, and it will be an independent body. It will work along with the DAE, DST, and all those things, and it will accredit the institution and give more money for peer researchers and reviewed researchers, and funds will be given for that, and recognize outstanding research and progress of that. And how are they going to implement that? The equity, as I said, there will be special funds for this higher education gross and money, especially for the socially and economically disadvantaged groups. All groups come under that, and there will be special funding for those people. And that is how the gross enrollment ratio will be given. And they'll have different things. Even wheelchairs will be allowed, given free of cost, and all those people, physically handicapped people, will be given prominence in giving administration. And there will not be any discrimination and harassment of all the groups in our colleges. Everything will be on a genuine, equal rule. Now, they will also promote Indian languages and culture, and they will start Indian Institute of Languages. 5 national institute languages, Pali, Persian, and will be introduced, and Indian languages will be promoted, and there will be a digital educational technology forum which will be created, which will help all of us. They improve classroom processes and the teacher professional development, the educational access for disadvantaged groups, and all those things. There will be a digital process, and this online and digital education will be ruling the rules in future. It will come on that. And how are they going to implement? Now I'm coming to that how. How are they going to implement? There will be only one regulatory system that is called Higher Education Commission of India that will replace UGC. The University Grants Commission will be replaced by Higher Education Commission of India. 12 members from all over India. Maybe the higher education ministers and all those people will be the members of that. Under that, there will be a National Higher Education Regulatory Council. You take care of that word regulatory, it will regulate. Under this is the umbrella body, Higher Education Commission of India. Under that, National Higher Education Regulatory Council. National Accreditation Council will be independent. It will come under the Higher Education Commission of India. Higher Education Grants Commission. Hereafter, it will talk about only grants, along with the National NRF. And General Education Council, that is National Education Commission, that also is there. That is called Rashtriya Shiksha Ayog. Rashtriya Shiksha Ayog. On those lines, since education is in the concurrent list, there will be Rajya Shiksha Ayog, that is State Education Commission, wherein the higher education minister will be the chairperson of in the respective states. And for all your curriculum, there will be a national higher education qualification framework which will approve of that. And also, this is very important, your national skills qualification framework that talks about qualification and how to improve your skills, all skills, soft skills and hard skills, whatever it is. And the National Education Technology Forum, which I said, these are all the national commissions and National Mission for Mentoring. Retired professors and experts will form a committee, and they will come for mentoring in all our colleges, institutions, and universities. They will monitor our progress. And education also will be introduced to the National Committee for Integration of Vocational Education. And there will be professional standard setting bodies for NCT. There will not be any separate NCTV for B.Ed colleges and all that, a Council of Agriculture and all that, except medicine and law. There will be profession standard setting for everything, engineering, arts and sciences and all that, veterinary, agricultural, everything. There will be professional standard setting body. How are they going to make it happen? How are they going to make it happen hereafter? There will be mechanisms for checks and balances. There will not be any commercialization of higher education. And then they will now give private-public partnership to generate lots of funds, but commercialization will be stopped, and all education will be having equal and common standards, similar standards for audits and disclosure. Since CAB today is strengthening the Central Advisory Board of Education, CAB members, when we start a private university in Nagaland, I had this problem. The CAB members, only those people who are towing the lines of their own central government were become members. But, now they are going to change that. The Central Advisory Board of Education, there are lots of scientists and former vice chancellors are the members there, and they will become the board of governors in the private universities. And slowly they are going to change that. There will be a transparent administration even in the private universities, because it will not be called an affiliating university, private university. It will be called university, multidisciplinary university, and financing will be done. This financing only hereafter, they say 6% of the GDP is allotted. Now, it is very difficult from the governments to even give the 6% of the total GDP for that. Not even 4 is coming. But NEP has recommended 20% of the GDP, which will not happen. But anyway, there will be, how are they going to do it? There will be a lot of MOUs between the public enterprises with the private universities. They will start funding. As Tata is doing it today. Tata has given lots of funds for battery operated cars. Most of the engineering colleges have taken up this battery operated cars today. It's more than a 25 crore project which is being shared with many colleges, engineering colleges, and the students are doing this, right? Battery operated. So this is like how many public enterprises will enter into the private universities and sign an MOU so that the funding will not be very difficult. Finally, quality education is everywhere. Nobody will run. Oh, I'll join Stella Maris College or I'll join Loyola College. That quality is different. No. Quality in Kanyakumari district is same as in Coimbatore. It's not necessary I should go and study in PSG. Right, R. Krishnamal? No. I can have the same education in Nagarcoil. We can give the equal rights for those things and develop curriculum in such a way we'll have that. And finally, the present MHRD will move on to MOE, Ministry of Education, and in this particular thing will come under the Higher Education Council of India. And I'm sure, I think you have understood something about the new education policy, which can be very effectively used in Holy Cross College, being an autonomous college. And I'm sure slowly it can make steps. I think Loyola College has already applied for the university position and all that. Slowly we can apply, because next year itself Holy Cross College can think of the 4-year integrated course in education. There are a lot of spaces, a separate building and education, all those things. And the present teachers who are doing the PhD also will have a credit system of education, and then they have a very good faculty team which will strive to give quality education colleges. I wish you all the best. I think I have taken more time. If you've got any clarifications regarding, you can open. Otherwise, you can also send the chat box. I can share it with you, with a principal or anybody there in the college. Anything. Thank you very much for your patient listening.
Thank you, Dr. Dunstan. Your talk was really thought-provoking and has already made us aware of what is going to happen and what is expected from an autonomous institution. I'm sure we have to come up with new innovations, research, and create entrepreneurship ventures to cope up with the mandate of the new education system. I'm sure our audience, especially the faculty of our college, would have a lot of doubts regarding the new education policy. Personally speaking, I have my own doubts and apprehensions. So let me now invite the participants to please put forward your queries. You can either post it in the chat box in Google Meet or YouTube, or you can unmute yourself and interact with Dr. Dunstan. Well, as we wait for the questions, let me ask you a few doubts, Professor. Like being an academician and an expert in this field, could you tell us what is the most scariest thing about the national educational policy? Because when the new educational system is being implemented, there will be a lot of expectations from autonomous institutions. As we have so much of regulations being imposed on us. Are we going to lose the power of autonomy in an implicit manner?
Yeah. See, the thing is, I tell you, your doubts can be easily clarified, because you will have a lot of inclusive programs. As far as there will be specifically, there is a gender inclusive program, and for women will be given importance. That kind of even in the research, so that kind of a thing will be that you should make use of the opportunity which is given to you as an autonomous college. I think you have a better edge over than other colleges, and make use of this opportunity. Every day, something new is coming as far as the gender equation is concerned. So you can, I think you have a lot of areas where you can make use of this gender equity, and all those things will definitely be executed in a very efficient manner in your colleges. Yes.
When we are talking about converting houses into a university,
Yes.
What about the space and infrastructure? Like, is there a mandatory specification for that? That you
No,
need
not
this.
necessarily. Slowly. I mean, that's what I said. See, in a particular place, they talk about the space. I think world class college has got enough space. They can still expand. All right. I mean, for the research and all those things, there are, even if you want to, establish a lab, let us say in microbiology, or, let us say when you sign an MOU with a foreign universities and you want to have the same thing here, only thing is you have to expand your laboratory and then make it separately. That's all. And that is being done in other colleges now. I think even St. Xavier's College has started doing that. That's why now Father Ignatius has come, the former University Vice Chancellor, Madras University Vice Chancellor has come. He is going to start that now. Already the sanitizers have been produced on a very large scale. See, that's why the pandemic situation has created a lot of things. St. Xavier's College, Parliament has created a lot of things. And then they have already applied for the university. Now, that's what I'm saying, I think I was discussing with Sister Gerardine about this.
And the participants of this webinar. I accord to you all a very big thank you. Thank you for joining us today. I now request the participants to kindly log out. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.